I love gelato, and the reason that I decided to do gelato instead of ice cream, well, for a lot of reasons. It goes better with the wine, but also gelato is lower in fat. You know, gelato only has between 4 and 9% fat, where ice cream has about 15 to 24% fat. So I just wanted to kind of cut down on the fat. I've already given you plenty of that with the truffle fries and the mac and cheese. So in my pot, I have milk. Now, gelato also calls for milk and not cream. I'm going to add sugar. So a lot of people have told me, Tassie, I have so much trouble making ice cream because my eggs just tend to scramble. Well, that's because you're using eggs, and eggs do scramble. And if you don't temper the cream just right, you're going to have scrambled eggs. So gelato is so much easier just for the everyday person to make. Now we are just going to cook this for just a minute until the milk comes up to a simmer. The skins start to pop just a little bit. Now, while that's happening, I want to add a little bit of vanilla. About a teaspoon is perfect. Now I added about a half teaspoon of salt. You want a little bit of salt in that. And then as this comes to a simmer, it's really important that it simmers, and then we drop in our chocolate. Now I have about 4 ounces of semi-sweet chocolate, which is between 50 and 60%. And then I also have 4 ounces of unsweetened chocolate. So really you're getting about a 75 to 80% cocoa. This is beautiful. Now as that starts to melt the chocolate, here's my little thing that I do. I like to take out a little bit of this cream and mix it with my cornstarch so that I can get the thickening that I want. Just mix in 3 tablespoons of cornstarch for 4 1/4 cups of milk. And just stir that through. Make sure that you really stir it through, get it nice and dissolved, because if you don't, you're gonna have lumps in your gelato. And nobody wants lumps in their gelato. So this is thickening just beautifully. And what I want to do now is to put it in a bowl and cool it before I put it in my ice cream maker. Now you might ask why I have this little contraption, my potato masher sitting here. If the cherries don't pop, or if you don't cut them, you might want to go through and just smash them a little bit so that that cherry splits, and then you don't end up with a huge chunk of cherry in one bite, but instead maybe about a half a cherry in a bite. So that's great. Now I've got a cool batch in my ice cream freezer, and what I want to do is turn that on, and at this point I'm going to add some toasted macadamia nuts, and usually I add it about midway through the process. So I'm going to process this for about 20 minutes, and then we're going to have something scrumptious to eat. Right now, I want to just scoop out that gelato. Now remember that gelato is served 10 to 15 degrees warmer than actual ice cream. It is easier on the taste buds. It doesn't give you that, that terrible head freeze, and it also doesn't burn your tongue from cold. Now let's look at our wine. I selected another wine from the Monticello region, the AVA, and I love this wine. It's from the King Family Vineyard. It's called Seven. It's their Polo label, and I love this. It's rich, it's fantastic with dessert, and it's a wonderful after dinner drink. So I hope that you'll like this. The reason that I chose this is because when I tried to pair ice cream with wines, a lot of times that cream is just a little bit too much. That cold is a little too much to go with the wine. It brings out the nuttiness in the wine, it brings out the cherry flavor, and it's just incredible. So I hope you'll love this and all the other recipes from today.